Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. Today, we're getting into something pretty interesting you shared with us. It's Greenstorox's blog series, Album Quest: The Search for the Best Album of All Time.
Oh, yeah, I remember looking at this. The whole World Cup of Music idea is, well, it's certainly a method.
It really is. So the basic idea is they randomly put albums into groups of 4.
Right, and then listen back to back multiple times, apparently, and rank them 1 to 4. Top 2 go through.
Exactly. It sounds simple, but yeah, the listening commitment alone. Wow.
And it challenges how we usually think about ranking music, doesn't it? It just throws out, critical consensus or sales figures.
Totally. It's purely down to the author's own experience in that moment.
And they're pretty upfront about it, too, saying they don't always own or even rate albums everyone calls classics.
Which is refreshing. It's that whole de gustibus non est disputandum thing in action. You just can't argue taste.
It really makes you question, are you judging the album itself or just how you felt listening to it right then, maybe even compared to the others in that random group?
Yeah, that context is huge. It forces you to check your own biases when you see those best ever lists. It's not about the stats, it's about what clicks internally.
Which can totally change depending on what else you're listening to around the same time.
Okay, so let's zoom in on one specific group to see how this plays out. Group 10. Greenstorox actually titled this one, I Got My First Real Six String, which, hints at one of the contender.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Who was in this group?
All right, we had Bryan Adams' Reckless, Katie Tunstall's Eye to the Telescope, Big Country's The Seer, and Foreigner's Unusual Heat.
Wow, that is quite a mix. You wouldn't normally see those 4 lined up against each other.
Not at all. And that's what makes the author's reasons for their ranking so, revealing about their personal taste.
So how did it shake out? Any surprises?
Well, the author called it another tough decision, but actually, Bryan Adams' Reckless came out as a clear winner, number 1.
Really? Clear winner. Why was that?
It seems it was almost purely down to the strength of specific songs. They mention Run to You, Summer of '69, Heaven, and One Night Love Affair. Just those killer singles.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Those are massive tracks. It does raise that classic debate, though, doesn't it? Can a few huge hits carry an entire album in this kind of head-to-head?
Apparently so in this personal contest, anyway. Maybe a great album doesn't have to be some grand concept, just a collection of songs that really hit home for you.
Interesting point. So Reckless took the top spot. What about the others?
Well, at the other end, Foreigner's Unusual Sheet ended up in 4th place.
Okay.
The author said it had some good stuff, but just didn't quite measure up against the others in the group. And they made this little joke.
Well, got it.
Said it lacks a certain Gramm of quality, a little nod to Lou Gramm, the original singer.
Huh. Okay, that's quite clever.
Yeah.
Shows they're really listening and know the band's history. But, yeah, suggests it maybe lack that overall punch or identity compared to the others.
Exactly. Now, the real drama, it seems, was for 2nd place. Between Big Country's The Seer and Katie Tunstall's Eye to the Telescope.
Ooh, okay. 2 very different sounds there.
Totally. And the author said there was almost nothing between them. It was super close.
So who squeaked through?
Katie Tunstall. Just barely. Even though The Seer had, quote, brilliant tracks like Look Away and Teacher.
Wow. So what tipped it for Tunstall then?
The language use was interesting. They said Telescope paints some wonderful mental images upon some beautiful compositions.
So less about individual tracks maybe and more about the overall atmosphere.
Yeah.
The feeling it created.
Seems like it. That sort of emotional connection or imagery just gave it the edge over Big Country's perhaps more direct rock tracks, even though they were called brilliant too.
That really shows how subjective this whole thing is. A feeling, an image, that can be the deciding factor.
So, yeah, the final order for Group 10, Adams first, Tunstall just scraping into 2nd, Big Country a very close 3rd, and Foreigner 4th.
And it all came down to Greenstorox hearing those specific massive hits on Reckless and feeling those beautiful compositions on Telescope.
Exactly. It really throws the whole idea of objective best out the window, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It's one person's journey, track by track, feeling by feeling. What really strikes you when you hear about these specific reasons driving the ranks?
Well, it makes you think, when you consider your own favorite albums, your personal best of all time, what actually makes them the best for you? Is it because critics loved it? Or is it maybe just a handful of songs that mean the world to you?
Or perhaps it's an album that just creates a certain mood or takes you back somewhere instantly.
Right. It's a great reminder, really. The best album, it's probably sitting in your ears, not on some universal list.